Hey guys, it's the French booktuber for another video of the book buying tag. In fact, I wasn't tagged by anyone, but Regan, that I admire very much, of previous project, tagged everyone who wanted to do this tag. That's my case. So, first question, where do you buy your books from? So, for me it's a tricky question because I don't like buying my books in libraries, like in shops, in bookshops, because the problem is I read in English only, and in France finding books in English in bookstores is not so easy. So I don't buy a lot of books in bookstores, only those that I want from French authors, so French books. For the others, I choose Amazon or the Book Depository, which is a website that I discovered last year, and I cannot, I cannot live one day without this website. Like, I visit it all the time, even though I don't buy books every day, but I still feel the need to visit it every day. It's like, whatever, I'm weird. So yeah, Book Depository, Amazon, they're my favorite, and I love, to open my mailbox and just see these card boxes full of books. Oh my god. Alright, so next question, do you ever pre-order books, and if so, do you do this in store or online? So I already answered that question for the online and store part, but no, actually I don't pre-order much. I ordered on the day of the release, like Ignite Me by Tahira Mafi. I did that on the release day, or on paperback release day. I don't like to pre-order because I don't know, I have a weird feeling about pre-ordering. I don't know why. I don't know. It's like I prefer to make sure that the book is already out to have it. I don't know. I can't explain why. Third question, on average, how many books do you buy a month? So there is a before and an after part. So I will do the afterwards part, like the now. Now I buy like 10, 12 books per month. 10 to 12. Maybe more, maybe a little less, depends. I try to not buy books when I have many other books left to read, but it's something I don't respect at all. It's like a book resolution that I can't keep. Like, no, I need more books, even though I have many books to read. I like having new books. New is good. So yeah, 10 to 12. Don't blame me. I'm not even feeling guilty. They're not even so expensive, so and it supports publishing houses, so I think maybe I'm making a good action. Yeah. Next question, do you use your local library? There is also a before and after part. So before, like when I was at my parents, and when I moved out to live with my boyfriend. So when I was at my parents, all the time. I visited the public library all the time. I borrowed so many books, and yeah, that was my... So I read, back in the time I read a lot in French, and I hadn't access to many YA books, because the YA books that I want to read are in English only, not translated maybe. So yeah, that was a tough period for me, and now I don't visit public libraries at all because I have much more room to store my books, so I prefer to buy them and keep them. So yeah, so now what I'm making is buying the books that I loved when I borrowed them at the public library, so that I can have them in my bookshelves. So that's my process, and sometimes that's what I count in my 10, 12 books per month. Sometimes I buy books that I've already read as a bonus. Okay, next question. If so, how many books do you borrow at a time? When I was at my parents, I borrowed like I don't know, 15 books every time I went to the bookstore, to the public library, which was like every 3 weeks maybe. I didn't read all 15 books, well, it depended, but you know, sometimes I was disappointed because I didn't choose the books that I really wanted. I mean, there wasn't as many choices as you have on Amazon or on the book depository, you know. So yeah, I said 15. What is your opinion on library books? Next question. So I think they're great, actually. I think it's humankind best friend, but now, like I said, I don't need them anymore. But for those like me when I was with my parents, for those who lack space or money to buy books, it's wonderful. Or even for books that you don't intend to keep, you know, you just hear about a book and maybe it's a book that I will like. Well, the public library is the solution because you don't have to buy them, so yeah, that is good. Okay, next question. How do you feel about charity shop or second-hand books? I love them. I don't have a second-hand bookstore near my place, so it's a bit difficult, but when I go to Paris, I always visit a library which is called Gilbert Jeune, and which has a lot of second-hand books. So yeah, when it's a book that when I'm not sure I will like, or you know, I prefer second-hand books. But sometimes, sometimes you can have nasty surprises. Like I bought a book, a second-hand book, and it was reeking of smoke, you know, cigarette smell, and I hated it. And I left it on my window outside to, you know, so it can get fresh air. I opened it with fresh air, and it never changed anything. So yeah, so every time I buy a second-hand book now, I sniff it because I'm a book sniffer, really, I am. So it's very important for me that the book doesn't smell like a smell that I don't like. Right. Next question is, do you keep your read and TBR pile together on the same bookshelf? I can't show you because my bookshelves are for the moment in the corridor, and the corridor is a bit dark, you know, you don't get much light, so if I brought my camera in here, you wouldn't see anything. So for the answer, yes and no, depends. Like, I have a whole bookshelves full of books in French. Those I keep together, TBR and to be read and read pile in the same bookshelves. But for the YA books, which is my other rank of bookshelves, I don't like. I separate them a bit. It depends on, you know, I'm not a very well organized girl, so it's a bit like I put them where I can, where there's room left, you know. But I'm trying to make a shelf dedicated to YA to be read, or in English to be read. Like my Game of Thrones box set is on my to be read YA bookshelves. Alright, moving on. Do you plan to read all the books that you own? Yes, I think maybe I don't know. Maybe some of those, no, like philosophy books that I bought for my studies. I don't know. I wasn't much into philosophy back at the time, but I told myself that someday maybe I will read them. So I don't know. For my YA / in English books to be read, I want to read them. I really plan to read them, and I have made sort of planning, you know, month by month, what books I want to read. It changes all the time, but I have a kind of, you know, I try to organize that. I am trying. Next question. What do you do with books that you own that you feel you will never read, that you did not enjoy? Right. Like I said, I went a lot to public libraries, so I don't own books that I don't like. I don't remember that. I don't think so. I think that every books that I read and that I owned are books that I love. So yes, I intend to keep them. For the one that you feel you will never read, I don't know, because like I said, it was like philosophy books or classics books. So it was, you know, I always say maybe I will read them, maybe I will pass them on to my future eventual children, possibly. So I don't know. It's kind of a tricky question for me. I don't know. Question 11, have you ever donated books? I think. I don't remember, but I think so. I mean, to friends, yeah, it happened to me. Not a lot, but it happened. Also, I sold them to the library that I spoke about, the second-hand books library. I sold them a lot for like €1 or €2 per book, which is kind of donating books, kind of. Question 12, interesting question. Have you ever been on a book buying ban? Well, yes, at my parents', but it was for lack of space. I didn't have any storage, I didn't have any bookshelves, and it was very frustrating, you know. They were all piled up in like wardrobes, and to look for a book, it was very hard. Like I had to move all the piles to find one book, and it was kind of complicated. So I was on a book buying ban because I didn't want the piles to be too high and to, you know, it was not for the money, because my money is prioritized for books, actually. So I would have had the money, but I was on a book buying ban just because lack of space. Now I'm trying to buy books and read them, you know, when I receive them. So it's a kind of book buying restriction. Like I don't like in the beginning of March I bought 11 books, and I told myself that I wouldn't buy anything else until I read all of them. Now I had read like 6 books or 7, I don't know. And it's hard not to, you know, not to buy anything. I just like buying books. I mean, I love it. So I think I will not wait, and like next week I'm going to explode my bank account to buy books. Right. And last question is, do you feel that you buy too many books? Yes! Like 11 books in one order is too much, I think. I guess. I don't know. But well, yeah, sometimes I buy too many books, but some months I don't buy too many books. Like in February I bought like 3 books. So it's not a lot, you know. I kind of... I know how to restrict myself, so that's a good thing. But on the other hand, I feel frustrated because I want all the books, you know, all the books that I hear about, and sometimes I can't buy them because they are not yet in paperback, like This Broken Stars, which will be in paperback in November 2014, which is a long wait, too longer wait. Maybe I buy too many books. I don't know. I don't know the scale. You know, I don't know if 10 books per month is a lot or not. I don't know. I'm surrounded by non-readers, so when I say that I buy 10 books a month, they say, "Wow, what the hell?" But that's who I am. You know, that's what I want to do. So I don't want to prevent myself to do it. So I think this tag is going to an end, and thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed it. So merci et à bientôt.